I didn't expect to be here 40 something, a quieter house, and asking myself questions like, who am I now and where do I go from here? Hey, peeps. Hey, friends. Hey, go getters. If you are a returning subscriber to the channel, you've probably heard me say one of those names before as our community. If you're new here, I want to say hello. I want to welcome you. Um, Life has kind of happened between motherhood, supporting my family, and shifting into a new career path came with a lot of busyness that I got to be honest, it somewhere along the way, I lost touch with parts of me. For those who are new here or even returning, you might not know that I'm a mom of two amazing boys who love to do hashtag all the things. One of them is off to college and the other is in high school. And suddenly my house feels a little bit quieter. My calendar feels a little emptier. And I found myself asking some deep questions. I've been living in this sort of like duality where I'm learning new skill sets in my career path and it's expanding me. And it's also came with a lot of learning to lead differently, using different systems and solving other business problems. But at the same time, I've been sitting with a lot of grief, if I'm honest, because no matter how much I learned and how excited I was for the opportunity, there was this quiet voice saying, did I fail? Was it supposed to feel this hard? And why don't I feel proud? I was just kind of confused. And I'll expand on that a little bit more because I promised not to word vomit in this video. But looking at it now, that feeling was a little bit of sad and loss because there was this inside battle of what's next. And it still isn't quite clear, but something I've learned throughout that time frame is just taking small actionable steps, and we learn through doing, we learn through taking the actionable steps. So if I'm honest, I gotta say I think I brushed up a, a little bit of depression. There was this feeling of years of constantly showing up for others and feeling just a little bit emotionally exhausted. With that exhaustion, I actually started to doubt my worth. And I forgot how, we forget sometimes how gifted we are. I forgot how creative I've always been. I just had this forgetting of how much I love being a small business owner, video and content creation, thriving through networking and making new connection. But I won't be all sad and gloomy. Something's shifting. With this new space in my life, I've started doing little things just for me. Those slower mornings. I'm a mushroom coffee girly now. I'm enjoying sitting in silence and just doing things like reading my devotional or journaling. So I'm even asking myself now, what do I enjoy? What actually lights me up? And it's like relearning myself. And I'm inviting you to come along. So this is feeling like a season of rebuilding, and it's not totally from the ground zero, but it's again not that hustle kind. It's more of an intentional kind. So this channel might look a little bit different moving forward. We're even in a different studio setup, so there's more honest conversations. They're more behind the scenes. It's a little less perfection, and I really want it to be more of presence because I am also in this reaffirming season of learning, just like you are. So, if you're also in a season of transition, maybe your kids are growing up and you're becoming an empty nester, maybe you're changing careers, maybe your next just looks different than what you envisioned, maybe you're like me and you're just trying to feel like you again. You're not alone. And it's okay to rediscover who you are and who we are. So if this resonates, I'd love for you to subscribe and walk with me through this season. And just to make sure it's not the wild, wild west out here, I'll let you know that we'll talk still business, tech systems, because that I realized was a core of what I do. We'll get into creating some creative routines and just look at what it looks like to show up even when you feel unsure and you're in the messy middle or the messy, muddy middle, as I like to call it. So if there's one part of yourself that you want to reconnect with, go ahead, drop it in the chat. I'd love to circle back and be able to answer or comment or just connect. It's been a while, but one thing remains the same. As always, I'm cheering you on. Love y'all.